Hey guys, we're back with some big ambitions. And last video we went through and we weren't quite able to get another line going because we had made a purchase of some additional fabric so our factory could once again start producing our expensive clothes. So we've got that going. We took an urgent delivery, and we'll have to take a look at what's coming, how long these deliveries last, and that kind of thing. We also increased the number of items we're getting in our regular purchases for our other goods, right? We went through and doubled everything, uh, pretty much everything anyway. Some of our vegetables and fruit. So we shouldn't have to do the urgent order anymore. Now, the only thing that I'll say with that is that we may end up having to do another urgent order at some point here for this fabric. I have not gotten down yet exactly how much fabric we're going to need for a week as we get production going. We do have 4 lines going now, and we're looking for a fifth here very soon. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, as you may or may not know, I did a post earlier this week about the information that came out over the last weekend, and that was that the 1.0 release of Big Ambitions now has a release date, and it is August 28th. It is this month. They're looking to get the 1.0 and basically be out of early access and fully released at that point. Couple of things that I want to say about that. First is that there are some changes that are coming. First and foremost, on the account view, we're now going to have loans, investments, and taxes are going to be up here, and you're going to be able to do things with your loans and your investments, taxes, all up here within view. The other thing that's going to change is there's going to be a new employee for the HQ called a pricing manager, and you're going to be able, for all of your stores in a particular area. For instance, everything in the garment district that I have, I would be able to go in and have the pricing manager change my prices on basically anything that I'm selling in the garment district. Not just the garment district, but any store that I'm any area that I have stores in, I would be able to change the pricing with the pricing manager. The other thing is that they can suggest pricing, and you can, with one click of a button, apply that suggested price or prices based upon their suggestion. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to open up a new neighborhood called the Hamptons. Now, that's predominantly going to be a residential area. However, there's going to be a small commercial area where there's going to be some specialty stores. So they are going to have that. They are adding some new items to outfit your mansion, if you will, in the Hamptons. Over 100 new items are going to be available. The other thing that they're doing as well is they're bringing in a personal driver. So if you wanted to hire a personal driver, you are going to have an area, a couple of places on the map where you can go and hire a personal driver, and then you can summon that personal driver whenever you want to go somewhere or something of that nature. So a couple of updates so that's a couple of the things that they're doing. I did post about that out on the channel. The other thing I want to say about that is what do we do? Do we start new when that comes out later this month? Again, it's going to be toward the end of the month, August 28th. Or do we continue down and see what kind of impact that has with regards to updates in our current playthrough? let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. Now, with regards to today, we are closed at the law office. The law offices are closed. You can see that. And we're midday. We made it through last video through about half the day on Saturday. So we're about halfway through the day. I don't think there's anything else for me to do today. We did last time around, we did hire a new HR manager and a cleaning person for, I don't even remember. I think it might have been HQ, to be honest with you. I don't think, yeah, HQ. So, and we put them on the schedule. They're not very experienced, but we'll get them trained up with the HR person. So we'll get that taken care of. Again, not much left for me to do today. So we're going to get through the rest of Saturday. And unless something else comes up, I will be back on Sunday. All right. I wanted to break in here just for a moment because I got a message here other than the tomatoes, which I think are going to have in stock. Again, we're in Lower Manhattan and it looks like we're running out of the classic expensive male clothing. I suspect that's not truly the case. Because if I were to go in here, I guess we're down to 50 a piece. So we're selling through these now like we weren't doing in the past, right? I just wanted to bring you in on that just to show you that that's come up. I'm going to get through the rest of Saturday. And again, I'll see you on Sunday. All right. So a couple things here. We did all right yesterday. Even with our 2 law offices closed, we did really well, actually, surprisingly. However, we did get a message here from Helen. So let's see. Okay. We don't have enough inventory of burger and fries, but I suspect we have enough at the fast food restaurant to get us through. Let's see, French fries, and we're selling just over 100 and something a day, and we've got 377 in stock. Burgers, we're selling about 115 or so a day, and we've got over 400 in stock. So we're good there, and we're good all the way through till Monday's delivery. So we're okay there. Now, that said, I do have enough money to purchase another line. Although tomorrow, yes, well, let's take a look and see what our purchases are going to be. So that's 150, 165, 100 and 180, 200,000, pretty much 200,000. And I may actually, well, I'm going to leave that go for now. So we're going to have 200,000. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about purchasing that other line today. I'm going to hold off on that. One of the comments prior that I mentioned last video that I didn't get a chance to do was to head to the wholesaler to purchase my food. Now there's 2 camps here. One comment was that why don't you just go to the wholesaler, grab a box and put it in your fridge, and then you've got enough food to last. The other comment was very similar, but suggested I put storage shelves in my kitchen, buy it from the wholesaler as well, and put it, what I can in the fridge and then the rest on the shelf. I don't know that I need a shelf. I don't know how much the standard fridge will hold, and we're not quite there yet. We've got basically 7 days worth of food, right? Not much else again for me to do today. I don't know. We do have one of our folks that's getting ready to retire. They are currently a cleaner. We're going to get rid of all those folks. That person, if I'm not mistaken, is this person here, who's getting ready to retire. The only problem is I don't remember when. I think, if memory serves, it's like day 242. And boy, I wish I could search for his name here, because I am not seeing his name in here. Oh, wait, here it is. Day 242. So yeah, I was right. It is day 242. So in another 12 days, he's going to be retiring. So we've got some time left on that. And again, there's nothing really for me to do today. We did pretty well. I don't know. So fresh threads also went up. Fresh threads went up. And this was primarily probably due to the fact that I think, increased pricing last episode a little bit at these locations because we were doing so well here. We also raised prices here. So, I mean, 80K, and these are half of that. So the legal services, oh, for the rent. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know why we would have anything from the legal services standpoint. Yeah, so this was another business that I had considered closing on Saturday. We are closed on Sunday here at the travel agency. We're not closed yet on Saturday. We're going to watch that a little closer. I think I'm going to go ahead and get through most of Sunday. Unless something comes up, I'll bring you in. I will be back on Monday. All right, a decent day. We got another message from Helen again. And again, I suspect it has to do with not having burgers and fries. And, we don't have cheap clothing either. That's interesting. I didn't realize we were out of cheap clothing. Modern cheap female, modern cheap male in stock. Classic cheap male. Okay, so we don't have any classic cheap male, huh? Classic cheap female. Yeah, we don't. Okay, well. And again, burgers and fries we're getting in today, right? Burgers and fries we're getting in today. We should have enough to get us through the day. We're not selling 265 orders of fries in a day. We should be okay there. Let's take another look here real quick to see how much we're going to be spending. 95, it's 169. 184, 199, 260. Tell you what we're going to do. We are going to let the shipments come in. I will waste a little bit of time here this morning. Let the shipments come in so that the money comes out of my account, and then I will likely be purchasing another line. Let me skip some time here. All right, shipments have arrived. The money came out of the bank, and I don't remember how much it cost us for the equipment. So they're outside of their hours. All right, well, we could still take a look at the price. So we need 240, 385, 480. So we're just short. All right. Let's see what we got over here. Don't need a whole lot of customer service people. We're going to discard those. Let me do this. Let's get our recruiter recruiting some factory worker candidates. Currently 2, but I don't have a line for them. And by the time I get the line, these may not be on here anymore. So let's get that going. We have a new HR manager at the ready. So I am going to waste a good part of Monday, and unless something comes up, I will be back on Tuesday. And we'll get this new line set up. I forgot I wanted to bring you in. So I forgot one of the things that we did was we turned off our marketing on the law offices. So let's get the law offices marketing turned back on before we go any further. All right. Again, if anything else comes up, I'll bring you in. Otherwise, I'll see you on Tuesday. All right. Another pretty good day, almost 200,000. Now, the one thing I will say is that you'll notice over here, I'm consistently getting messages that the Lower Manhattan Fresh Threads is running out of inventory on some of their expensive clothing. So I think a couple of things. Number one, clearly we're selling. Yeah, so we're selling about 70 pieces a day. So we're selling through about a half of our stock a day. Not quite, but almost, on all the expensive stuff. So the first thing is we probably need to get a few more pieces in stock. That's the first thing. That's the second thing, really, because the first thing is that leads me to believe I could probably raise my prices a little bit and still be all right. And we'll soon see. The next thing I want to do then is to do this. And instead of 150, we're going to put in there 200 a piece. Give us an extra 50 a piece, basically. Let me grab something to eat. And then we're also going to take a look here. We still got a good amount of expensive fabric. And because that was a smart order, we didn't receive any fabric, right? Because it was at 25,000. So we might have received some, but not much. All right. So we've got plenty of fabric. We've got plenty of money now to get that line. They don't open until 10. So I am going to mark our factory and head that way so that I can be there in order to set up so that I can set up the new machine when we go to order it here at 10 a.m. I will be back when I'm in front of the factory. All right, I'm out in front of the factory and I'm going to waste a little bit of time here. Because first I'm going to check and see if we've got enough. Ooh. All right, well, we're getting pretty close here to capacity, aren't we? All right. First and foremost, let's call these guys and get for later today a consumer goods assembly machine, an industrial sewing machine, and a laser cutting machine. And let's get a couple more pallet shelves. Get those ordered. Those will be in later today. We still have room. Oh, well, that's just a regular storage shelf. Shoot, you know what? What did I order? Did I order storage shelves or pallet shelves? Pallet shelves. All right. So we still got some room over here where we can put some machines. And so I think what we might do is we might do that. Obviously put in some of our shelves over here and then also put in our machines. I'm going to move these just a little bit here if I can. I don't know why I didn't do this before. And then this way, the machines over here, we can do the cheap clothes. Over there, we can do the expensive clothes, and eventually we can separate them out. All right, so I'm going to spend some time on this bench until my order comes in, and I'll be back when my order comes in. All right, my order's just about here. I did get a notification that we just got a new achievement where we're making, I guess, $250,000 a week in one business. Let's do this first. Let's do the pallet shelves first. So how far back can they go? They can go back pretty far. Perhaps if I have them set right, they will. All right. And I just want to make sure I've got enough shelves here. As you can see, we're kind of running pretty tight on space over there on the other shelves already. All right, so first, oh, I guess that is there. That does belong there. All right. Well, that may mean our machine needs to move then, because I don't know that we have enough space. Yeah, maybe we do. Not really. Not really. There we go. There's enough space here, and there's enough space over here. There's not enough space over here, so I think I'm going to flip it around. Now there's enough space. All right, so now what I need to do, obviously, is I need to get a factory worker hired for that one, and there is no reason for you to need, there's no reason for you to be watching me negotiate and schedule these factory workers. So I will be back when that is done. All right, I'm back, and you can see our employee there already. And what I did not do, however, is I did not link them up with an HR rep. So let me do that. That takes care of that HR rep. And there was no more. Okay, so pretty much what I did have to hire a few, right? Part-time and or full-time primarily. I had a couple of folks also on this in my employment already that didn't have hours filled for what they were, whether they were part-time or full-time. They didn't have the hours. So I allocated some of those hours that were left over. I am now going to head back. And the other thing I think at some point we're going to try to take a look at, one, is going to be whether or not we send some of our products to the exporter like one of the viewers had suggested, or whether we end up with another store, potentially, in lower Manhattan, since we're the only game in town with expensive clothing. We might go ahead. I mean, the demand is still a little high. It's not as high as other stuff in lower Manhattan, but what we might do is maybe open another clothing store. And it wouldn't necessarily have to be lower Manhattan either, right? It could be one of the other areas that we don't have a clothing store. But if we get to a point where we're making 8 things of clothes, where we're making them all, we might need additional outlets. I'll be back when I'm in front of the store. All right, I've parked. I'm going to head back to my apartment, I think, at this point, and we're going to call this a day. All right, we're going to call this a day pretty much. There's not much else for me to do here today. I am going to waste through the rest of Tuesday, and I'll be back on Wednesday. All right, not quite the $200,000 days we were having. 188, not too bad though. We're going to take a look here at our inventory at the factory. Modern, expensive female, classic. Okay, so for some reason, are we not sending classic, expensive male? Okay, so what we're thinking then is what? We've got 5,000 pieces of clothing over here. Is that what we're saying? Pretty close to those. Pretty close on those. But I don't see anything at 5,000. Interesting. I don't know why I still have then 2,000 items of classic cheap male clothing. Nothing has been shipped. So that means we're not shipping it somewhere. Why are we, oh, right there's why we're not. Okay. All right. Well, that gets taken care of tomorrow. For some reason, I missed that one. All right. No worries. And let's take a look and see what our stores did. What did, okay, so it went down a little bit. It's gone down a little bit. So I'm wondering, did we go too high on clothing? Did we go a little too high? So let's see. I don't think so. I think we're still right there. Remember, we ran a couple of days at least at 175. So I think we're okay there. Now, the question is whether or not we can raise our prices at some of our other stores. I think we did this yesterday. So I don't know if we can do that or not. Although they're not complaining about pricing right now. So this looks like maybe I lowered the price because we were trying to sell more because we were selling so much at the lower Manhattan store. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so we're selling more now than we were. All right. We're going to leave that go. And Right now, again, not much for me to do, right? We've got our fourth line going, cheap clothes. We've got all the expensive clothes going. We still have a pretty good amount of fabric left, and we're at Wednesday. So this 25,000 pieces of fabric might be just the right number. We'll have to see. But we're midweek and we've gone through just about half of it, right? So that leads me to believe that we're probably pretty close. I think what I'm going to do, since I'm getting close on food, I am going to take one viewer's suggestion and head to the wholesaler and get me some food for my apartment to put in my fridge, and I'll be back when I'm in front of the wholesaler. All right, I'm into wholesaler now, and what I'm looking for is fresh food. So nothing, there's frozen food, there's fresh food. We're going to grab one case, put it in my, 500 pieces. I don't know if that's going to fit in my fridge. I'm going to bet it don't. So the viewer that suggested buying a storage shelf might have been right. This equates to a little more than $2 a box, basically. So, all right, I'm going to get this back to my apartment, and we'll see where we are. When I'm back at the apartment, I'll be back. All right, I'm back at the apartment. Let's see what happens here. See if I can get everything in there. Nope. Oh wow. All right, well, we'll put the box right there. And now we've got 50 in the fridge. Now, I don't know if there's any rot in that. So, we don't quite have enough for another line. We're going to go one more day here. If we've got enough, we'll get another line tomorrow. I don't think there's anything else for me to do today. So I am going to waste the rest of Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday unless something happens. I'll bring you in. All right. Once again, not quite a $200,000 day. So I don't know where we're going wrong here, but yeah, it looks like Fresh Threads, Lower Manhattan is not doing as well as it had been. So I'm wondering if my pricing still might be a little off. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back down to our pricing where we were at. And I think that's where we're going to be. We're just not doing as well as we were. You know, we were in the 70s and 80s, and now we're down in the 67. So we did pick up a little bit at Fresh. Well, no, actually, we're down there too. And we're down at all of our clothing stores, so I'm not exactly sure why that is. We're up at our legal services and our travel business in any event. And now what we should have, we've got all kinds of stock over here, and there shouldn't really be anything at the factory. Well, there is. There definitely is. And it's Thursday, and we're going to be getting close here with regards to how much fabric we have. We might actually make it through the entire week without actually running out of all of our fabric. It surprises me that we have that much left. I wonder. So that should mean that we've got 5,000 pieces of clothing over here somewhere. I'm guessing these two before. Yeah, that okay. So maybe. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to increase these numbers then. All right. We're going to increase those numbers. And I'm going to head to the warehouse, get another line going. We have the room and we have the money. So we're going to get another line going. So I'm going to head to my car and then head to the factory. We'll get another line ordered and get it stood up. And I think got some candidates here for factory workers. Unfortunately, only one full time. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is get my headhunter on this recruitment. now. And I will be back when I'm in front of the factory. All right, I'm here. I'll waste a little bit of time here because our vendor doesn't open up for another 8 minutes or so. So we're going to get another line ordered for today, and then this will be it for today. What am I doing? Okay, we're going to get fresh threaders today, and we're going to get, you know what? I want to go in and see if we have enough storage space. So we added the pallet shelves. Let's see if we need to add more. We do not. We should be good for now. All right, so let's get the order placed. I had to check because one time we had where it didn't deliver everything, claiming we were out of space. So, all right, so that's going to be today at 2 p.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here and do a little bit of rest, waste some time. I'll be back. All right, we got our stuff. Let's see about getting this thing set up. So, people do like this, yeah? Now the question is, yeah, I think we're good right there. All right, so I am going to once again go through and hire and negotiate and hire at least a couple of factory workers, and I will once again do this off screen so you don't have to see this. I won't bore you with it, won't bother you with it, and then we'll come back and we'll end the episode there. Okay, I'm back, and I have now got 6 lines running, excuse me. Let's see. Let's make sure that's classic cheap female, classic cheap male. Yeah, so I have 2 cheap going. I have 4 expensive machines going, making expensive clothes. I think we're going to end the episode there. I am going to head back to my apartment. There is not anything else for me to do today. I don't have any money to do anything else today. And so, yeah, I think that's where we're going to end this latest video. Again, guys, the 1.0 release comes out at the end of the month, August 28th. I'm looking for ideas on, or your feelings on whether or not we should continue with this playthrough or whether we should start anew once the 1.0 comes out. Again, we do have we have a few more videos to go. Man, I can't drive. We do have a couple more videos to go before we get to that point, but I would ask that you comment and let me know what your thoughts are with regards to that. I appreciate all the new viewers and all the new subscribers. Also appreciate the commenters commenting in. We did take a couple of those suggestions this time around, right? We went to the wholesaler to get the food instead of the grocery store. We did take that. That was a viewer suggestion, and I certainly appreciate it. And we've done things in the past where we have taken viewer suggestions. We do have another viewer suggestion out there, which we may be looking at, and that is sending some of our excess products to an importer-exporter to export it. So we may take a look at that here in the coming next couple of episodes, just to kind of see what that looks like. Again, guys, please give the video a like, and if you feel that I've earned your subscription, by all means, please give me that free subscription. I would certainly appreciate it. It helps the channel grow more than you know. Comment below. Thanks for watching this one. Come back and watch the next. We'll see you.